I'm here with ARDI Bakitari. ARDI's an immigrant to Canada as well as a visible minority. I'm here today to talk to him about his experiences in moving to Canada, as well as to see if being a visible minority has affected his way of life since being here. So ARDI, in what year did you move to Canada and where did you move from?
I moved to Canada back in December 9th, 1999. I moved here from Iran. So basically this year would mark the 8th year anniversary of my or 9th year anniversary of my immigration to Canada.
Very nice. Tell me what you remember about your experiences when leaving Iran as far as paperwork goes, like leaving the country.
Applying to be an immigrant to another country from Iran is very hard, especially since it is a third world country. It is a Middle Eastern country, and it involves a lot of paperwork. It's a very long procedure. Not everyone gets the grant of an immigrant. That's why my family was lucky that we were able to get an immigration in about 6 months.
Cool. What Canadian city did you first move to and at what age?
We first moved to Toronto, and I was about 10 years old back then.
Tell me what you remember about customs and immigration when you were actually coming into Canada. Like, was the security strict? Were they searching you?
The security wasn't that strict when I was coming into Canada. It's more the problem that I'm having of now leaving Canada, going to the U.S. What they do is that they ask you a series of questions, like for example, where were you born? Iran. Do you have a valid citizenship? If you say yes, you'll always be sent to the immigration office and you'll have to be registered. And that itself is another problem. So you have to lie and say, no, I'm not a citizen anymore. Do you have a passport? No, I don't. Do you ever want to go back to Iran? No, I don't. When was the last time you went back to Iran? Ever since I moved here, I've never been back. This is all the things you gotta lie about.
So at what age did you move from Toronto to Vancouver? And have you noticed any differences between Toronto and Vancouver relating to like multiculturalism and the different people in the different areas, and was there a difference in the way you were treated?
I was about 11 when I moved from Toronto to Vancouver, and I did see a huge difference as far as multiculturalism goes. I think that Toronto is more multicultural than Vancouver, especially because it's a larger city than Vancouver. Ontario is a larger province in BC, and it obviously has a bigger population, so the multiculturalism would be way higher at a percentage than the one in Vancouver. And when I was living in Toronto, I had a friend there. He was basically my only friend, and he was the only person I hung out with. I couldn't hang out with anyone else because, well, they wouldn't accept me because I didn't speak that much of English. I hadn't adapted to the way of living in Canada yet. I was still considered an outsider.
So do you know anything about the paperwork your family's had to file since being in Canada, as far as becoming a landed immigrant or anything like that?
The only thing my family had to fill out coming into Canada was the immigration papers. That was it. The only thing my family's been having to do every time I want to go to the U.S. is just go to the immigration office and get registered.